How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve.
What's going on? Alvin, it almost sounded like you wanted to do the intro.
No, it went on and I went, lights up.
You
Jazz
did.
hands.
You turned on PM.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. That's right.
Welcome to Trainer Revenue Multiplier Podcast. Everyone, I am your host as always, Jaime Filer, and I am joined by, I'm just going to say, best of all time, Alvin Brown. How are you doing, sir?
In my own mind, and Jaime, in my own mind. I'm doing great. I love these calls with you, so I'm looking forward to it, to dive into something that I'm really passionate about. I know you are a student of the mindset, so I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, we are both coming hot off the heels of the Olympia. At the time of recording, it was 5 days ago, 6 days ago, hosted in Orlando, Florida. I'm kind of glad they're bringing it back to Las Vegas. I'm just going to say that. It doesn't, Orlando can't hang. That's the truth.
Amen.
Of Las Vegas.
I agree.
Alvin, so let's talk about it because there was an injury that occurred on stage. It was something that could not have been controlled. I mean, unless depending on who you talk to, right? Carpeting versus not carpeting. Okay.
Right. Yep.
But I mean, if that's not the best segue to mastering the imposter within, you're on the Olympia stage, you're performing your routine as one of the best in the entire world, a routine ending injury, it's not going to be career threatening because football players have come back from an ACL tear, fitness girls, right? Skiers have come back. Where do you even begin with someone who's crawled into such a dark place because of specifically something they could not have controlled?
Beautiful question. Thank you for asking that. So here's two things I want to say. First of all, well, three things. First of all, how difficult, it made me realize how difficult it is to be a fitness athlete, meaning not only do you have to bring your body to a state that could compete by itself and win, but now you have to put that away and go and do a gymnastics level or Olympic level kind of gymnastics, which is big jumps and taking risks from last time and on a depleted frame. That's completely because you were trying to look over here where anybody else would do that thing. It would be enough. That's enough. I'm depleted myself. I'm down at the lowest body fat. I'm showing like an anatomy chart. I am ready. And now though, that's only 1/3 of my score. I have to put that away, walk over here, put on a mindset of jumps high and all these tricks and skills. And oh my God, no wonder they don't have more injury. It's a wonder they don't. Yeah. So that's, first of all, much respect to anyone out there. First of all, even getting on the stage, but trying to do it seems like two different things.
Yeah.
So that's one. Second is I had a quote that I did a little post on, a mindset, mastery mindset. And it talked about, I heard it from Phil Heath, and it was said by Tim Grover, who wrote the books on winning and so on and so on. So he said something really, really profound. He said, winning is like a promiscuous lover. It will get in bed with you 1 minute, and then in no time, it will jump in bed with another person without even worrying about your feelings.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going, ain't that the truth? Right? So here you are on a high, winner, champion, and then like that, you got cut. Don't want to even mention you. You're out, and winning is in bed with another person going, how you doing? Right? So it's really, that was powerful for me. So now let's go to your question. The question here is, what would I do? So when I would work with Missy in the future, I would ask her to write a story. a hero's story, a hero's journey story. Meaning that hero's journey story will be filled with highs. Actually, it'd start with lows,
Yep.
because that's where the motivation comes from. And it'll go to a high. Winning, yes, champion, boom. A low, a high, and then another low. But guess what? Like a sine wave, there's another high coming. But now, what do you do with that low now to realize and then stretch your timeline out? So life isn't 2023. It doesn't, hopefully, doesn't end in 2023. Your career doesn't end in a year or 5 years. Your career is a 20-year trajectory. So you're going to have ups and downs here, here, and here. But what is the ending? How do you go out? Right? Muhammad Ali did not have a straight line. It was all kinds of twists, turns, and it ends with Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And, the worst. And now, but he ends as a legend, the greatest of all time, because that's the story.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the way I would say anybody out there, whether it be sports, business, or whatever, is that your moment that you're in right now is not your story. It's not the end. You can choose it to be your end.
Yep.
But keep writing your story. The story, it's going to be one of triumph if you keep writing it.
Yeah.
If you stop writing it and call it a day, that's where you're going to get stuck. So
on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those, I mean, I love that you said the story and it always starts with a low. I mean, what you're describing is Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, right? The
Amen.
12 steps. Highly recommend you guys pause the podcast, just open a browser on your phone really quickly if you're not driving, and just Google Joseph Campbell 12-step hero's journey and go find yourself in that story. Go find where in the cycle you are, because it always ends, like Alvin said, with the hero on top again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And coming back with the sword and the elixir, the message.
Yep. Always. So scenario number 2, you could have done more to prepare and you didn't win.
Yeah.
Do we even bother addressing that? Is there any, or is it just, hey, let's spend more time acquiring more skills? Is there even a mindset component to that? Or is it straight strategy versus psychology?
Yeah. Well, you didn't win. Unfortunately, in this case that we're kind of leaning towards, it's out of your control. Potentially, there might have been something that led up to it. I don't know. I have a funny feeling, and this is just my opinion, that in the prep there was something possibly that led up to that, possibly, but I can't tell. But what do you do with that? You've prepared. It's a crushing one, because if you're going to lose, I'd rather lose by someone beating me than something unfortunate. However, we go back to the hero's story again. There's a lot of people out there who didn't expect to have an accident on the way to the thing, or to be paralyzed during the thing. And now you have a whole new reality to deal with. How do I deal with a diver who injures, or that's just life. And that's kind of the beauty of sports and life, actually, is this unscripted journey that we take through life. You just never know. Jaime didn't know she'd be here today, what she's doing now. Sure. It just, through consistency though and persistency, you evolved and you're embracing, and there's so much more left for Jaime to do. So it's just writing that story and not allowing yourself to be identified by this current moment.
I love that.
Because this too shall pass.
Yeah.
It will pass. But how will you come out of it? That is the question. The work you're doing right now is going to be how you come out of it. I mean, the sting's going to hurt. This is easy. It's easy for us to sit here and say this with us right now, because we're sitting at a different vantage point. We're not in it. We're not in the emotion. But give it time. Let it go through.
I love that. And I know that you're the quote guy, so I don't want to take this one from you, but I heard an amazing one yesterday, and it's, you're an observer of your feelings.
Yeah. Huge.
And it's
huge.
And I think that's one of the reasons it's so important to have a coach or an objective significant other or a best friend, because I can say that, or you could hear it from Alvin and you'll be like, okay, I don't even know what that means. like Alvin said, write a story, but maybe write it in the perspective of your coach, right? Alvin, you have perspective when you coach people on their mindset. You're an observer of their feelings.
Easy.
They can't see the frame of the picture they're in. How do you develop that objectivity? That your athlete can say, you know what happened was crappy, but it was the carpet or it was whatever, couldn't have controlled it, got injured. It was just a feeling.
Yeah, great question. So I would say, first of all, give yourself time. You need time. It hurts. We're not going to deny that. We're not here going, just forget about it. We're not saying that.
Yeah.
Give yourself time to simmer, time to reflect, time to cry, time to feel your feelings. Then, once that emotion's passing and you give yourself some room to breathe, to think, then you want to take that bigger perspective. Because here's the thing, and Jaime, you know this. The lower brain, the lowest part of our brain, the neocortex, the paleocortex, the reptilian, whatever everyone want to call it, the subconscious, that's where all the emotions are. And most times that old brain, phylogenetically, so how it was developed, is old and rudimentary. It's a protective thing. So we will go there first, and we will go there longer because it's been there longer. This new stuff, the prefrontal cortex, it's all brand new. It's fairly new in the development. So this is why mastery, we must work on it. Because if you're not working on it, we'll always default to the lower brain thinking, which is fight, flight, get into emotions and the amygdala and all of these things. We'll default to that if we're not training this. This is training.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, if you're tired or drunk or emotional, scared, I always go back to two boxers staring each other down or trash talking. What I'm attempting to do is to take away every logical decision that you planned for me. Jaime has watched me for months, watched all my tapes, studied my movements. Logically, Jaime has me clocked that I should do. I see his weakness. But when I get in the ring and I tell Jaime about her mother and about her this and about her that, and Jamie's just pissed, Jaime knocks out all of that logical stuff and wants to kill me. Now I can see every move you're going to do because now you're emotional, right? So in athletics, it's very emotional. In business, it's very emotional. In life, it can be emotional. When we are emotionally engaged, the prefrontal shuts off. There's no logical thinking. We go into emotions, and we have to be careful around those times of saying things, doing things that can have an effect on our long-term future. Once we wake up and the haze is gone, we went, what the hell did I do? I ruined my career. I.e. a Will Smith decision to get up out of his chair, smack his peer, sit back in the chair, and then shout, "Get my out of your mouth." Completely, why not just wrap my career up and hand it and put it in the toilet, right? Again, emotionally engaged. I'm not sure what that was all about. Boom. In front of a global, not even like a private event.
Yeah.
Woo, all on TV. So again, emotions take over. And fair enough, hijacked the prefrontal cortex. Boom, you're gone. So in answer to your question, we acknowledge you lost. This disappointment has happened. Let it flow through you as long as it takes to flow through you. Then start to develop a plan after that, and have the coach, have the friend, have the mentor, have whoever who's on object. They're not in your emotions, so they can see everything you can't.
Yep.
They can, see it. You can't, don't count on you. And this is another reason why I say to fitness athletes, at the end, as you're getting close to the stage, the peak week, listen to your coaches, because there's no way you're thinking straight.
Right.
Jaime, 2 weeks out, don't even look in the mirror because you're going to be sabotaging. I don't look good enough. Don't do social media either. I tell all my athletes, go 0 dark 30.
Yeah. Okay,
0 dark 30. Go deep. Lock off everything. Don't go, because you're emotional at that point. So anyways, my point is then, to wrap this up, is to give yourself some room to let the dust settle. Incorporate someone that you trust who is non-objective.
Yep.
Not your mother who tells you she loves you, or your dad who tells you you're still a champion. Don't worry,
Right.
honey. They're mean. They're meanies. Don't do that. No, get someone who can tell you, and then start to get your mojo back. Write your story. Write your comeback story, and get going.
So here, I do love the idea of the story, but here's where I do want to play devil's advocate. So I've been doing some work, some NLP work, regarding the alter ego.
Yes.
Because I've been meditating on it. I've seen how it works for Sasha Fierce, aka Beyonce. I saw for the Black Mamba, aka Kobe Bryant. And like you spoke about, you have to speak a story into existence that might be the total opposite of where your mindset is now. But what happens is when you get so into being the Black Mamba that it takes over you, how do you temper that with reality, Alvin? Because again, if you go from Kobe to Black Mamba, 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds, what about injury? What about imposter syndrome? What happens when Dr. Jekyll goes to Mr. Hyde and then comes back? He's sore. People are left dead, broken, right? In his wake. How do you bring, but without saying, you know what? No, like without bringing your goals back to reality. Does my question make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. I believe I understand it. So this is where then you need, so it's funny. If you want to go, let's go down the NLP path.
Yeah.
And you talk about what you're talking about is a switch. So athletes love a switch. Let me flip it on, right? On or off. The problem with a switch is it's either on or off. I like a dial. Okay, let's dial in. Because sometimes you don't listen, you know, when it comes to life, let's take life. Life is a long, hopefully you get that opportunity, a long pathway. It's not a, life takes a dial. It doesn't take a switch sometimes. You could have both, though. If you're doing a competition, that takes a switch. Flip it on, stage lights up, let's go. But it takes a dial to get through life sometimes, because, you know, there's some, you're not going to be fired up watching TV. Oh, let's go. You know, watching with your partner, right? You're in Katie and you're like jacked up. No, I need you to calm that down. Bring that down. You're not Mamba here on the couch. You're Jamie. Go grab me something. So we need to have that dial and know how to tune in on the appropriate time. So with, say, Kobe, let's use Kobe and Black Mamba. He has to realize that when I go home, my kids don't want Black Mamba. Okay. They want Kobe. His wife wants Kobe. So there's where you have to start to play with the dial of when I or, you know, switch. If you know how to switch it on, then that's cool. And if you know how to switch it off when I go home, that's awesome. But the dial, I find having both, you know, having if you can picture a panel, a music board with the slides and I install that with my athletes, a board where you flip, dial, use things at different times where you can, right? So, you know, so I think that's the thing, the identity piece. I have multiple identities. Right now, I'm a performer. When I can't be this animated when I'm talking to my family. They're like, "What's wrong with you, Dad?" Like, okay, so no. So, but with them, I'm a fun seeker. You know, I look to have fun with them, and then in the clinic, I'm a magician, and you know, so I have different identities that I use in different roles. So it's inappropriate to use this over there, and the doctor comes home wanting to be a doctor. No, you're not a doctor anymore. You're Bill, you're Sarah, you're John, whatever. So we don't need doctor at home. We need the fun guy or girl, you know? So, so you just need to install. Does that make sense? Especially with you with the NLP, right? You install the dial. So you can tune in and out as much intensity as you want to, by the way, because I gave this to my athletes. I had one athlete dial. She put it in her chest because that's where her power comes. And I had her dial it just before she went on, just enough to be excited. Because sometimes, you know, when I was younger and competing in martial arts or whatever it is, dance, you name it, I would attempt to dumb down. I was so nervous. I was trying to dumb down my feelings, and I went out flat. Right. So I didn't know this technology, though, how to dial it. So, you know, incrementally. So when you're on stage and you're going out to through your 15 seconds of glory, you are dynamic when the lights go up, not flat, not nervous. stunned. You want to turn it up, but when you're backstage, you want to tune it down a little bit so you don't blow your energy right out there, right? Too excited. So, anyways, it's a dance. It's a dance.
I was going to say that's the exact word I was going to use.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my gosh. So there are so many different directions. Clearly we need more than a couple parts, because I want to discuss with you how to create an alter ego, because again, I have learned on my own different personalities, right? In TRM, I'm turbo, but I call myself the sled dog when I'm in an athletic endeavor, because a sled dog genuinely enjoys grit and hard work. And I could get another one for any other time. I want to discuss alter egos. I want to discuss the default mode network, because I think that's really important. What you said about our old brain, granted, it's there and it's going to be there, but relative to how long human beings have been around, we can rewire our brains, right?
Yeah. Over time. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Alvin, what based on everything we've discussed, what actionable steps can people take away from this to start using specifically? We'll say what it is when failing, when they feel like they've failed, something didn't go well. What do we do?
Okay. So you led me to another NLP philosophy, the ing on failing. I like that word, because NLP has this thing where if you use the word, because words are powerful, as you know, Jaime, words are very, very powerful. If I use the word I am a failure, I have failed and failure are stop, done. There's no movement to that. You're done. You're failed and you're a failure, done. Failing, though, is a verb.
Yep.
Failing means I can keep going and I can fall forward. I can get up again.
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful of the words we're using. Oh, I failed at that. No, you didn't fail at that. You made some. There's no perfection, as we talk about in one of my podcasts. I talk about the 4 stages of learning. A lot of people know what that is. Jaime, you know what that is. There has to be an unconscious incompetence where you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Then, though, someone wakes you up to a new movement, a new technique, and you went, whoa, but I don't know how to do it. So now you're conscious of this thing, but you're lack competence.
Yeah.
How to do it.
Yeah.
So they hire Jaime, they hire a coach, and now they're conscious and competent, but they have to think. It's still a lot of thinking. There's no flow yet.
Yeah.
Then you move to the last stage, which is unconscious competence. Now you're flowing. No, you can't do it wrong. It's just so right. But that takes time. So we need to go to the last pillar of my 4 pillars of mastery, which is consistency. Getting consistent about the thing we want to do. So if we were to summarize and think about everything we talked about, whatever you're going through right now, first of all, if you're going through disappointment, something didn't work out right, I'm avoiding any words that says, fail or loss. If things didn't work out, we want to remember this is a continuum. Okay, it's a continuum. So first of all, what can you learn? The other thing that I love, quote, man. The other thing I love that I heard is, don't get through it, get from it. Okay, whatever you're going through, because if you get through it, you will repeat it. If you get from it, when it comes again, and it will, you'll be better and you'll get through it faster. But if you're just getting through it, trust me, you'll keep on repeating this thing. So get from it. I'm a big believer in journaling. I was talking to one of our peers, Laurent, today, and I was talking about this idea that mastery is the boring, the dull, the repetitive things that people don't want to do. Because in today's world, we love the sexy fast, abs in 6 days when you're 100 pounds overweight. I mean, crazy stuff. But this is what we're talking about, is repetition, doing things over and over. So if you've gone through some disappointments, identify it. Feel the feelings of it. Check out the narrative that you're hearing. Just feel everything about it. Then start to widen your scope. Go sit. So picture yourself on a stage. You're on the stage. Now I want you to go sit in the balcony in the first row. Okay, so you're back in the first row. Now you're looking at yourself, less emotional, because when you're in it, there's no way you can frame. Can't see the frame. Sit in the first row. See yourself going through this. Are you a loser? No. You would never call anybody else that.
Right.
Well, if you're in the right mind frame. Haters are there. But you would never call a good friend that if they went out there, attempted, and they didn't come up with the win.
Sure.
No, they were out there doing something you didn't do. So assess it from the front row. If that's not enough, I want you to go in the balcony and look at it. Look at yourself, looking at yourself. Now you're less emotional. Then you can start to see that it's just life. It's just life. And you get a different perspective. So, and then from there, start to write your story. See the story play out. See how it goes from here. Did I lose? Am I a loser? Or am I just, I had the disappointment, but guess what's next? Guess what's coming after that?
Yeah.
Another win. Because if you don't quit, you learn from it. You learn from that win. You know, as you said, don't do it on carpet. Ask for another venue or be more, whatever. I've done lots of errors in my time. Oh my goodness. So
and look where it's gotten you. Each one has built another step to your platform of greatness.
And my own personal greatness. So yes, 100%. 100%.
Love it. Alvin, thank you so much for your time, your energy, all of it. Where can people find you if they want to learn more?
First of all, TRM, I'm here with the family, the TRM family, first of all. So check us out. We all bring a different flavor to your game. If you want to level up your fitness game, mind, body, soul, spirit, not only your business, but your life, we're here. That's one. Personal mastery training is my handle. So I've got a podcast. Check me out on all the podcast platforms. I'm there too. Instagram, same thing. Personal mastery training, and the website personalmasterytraining.coach. And if I can help you in any way, I'm here. Spaces are getting filled until I can expand, but there it is.
I love it. I love it. Alvin, thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, make sure you rate, subscribe, share on social media. We are at Trainer Revenue Multiplier, also on all platforms, and we look forward to catching you on the next episode.